What's up, guys? Captain Rick Hilliard here with Weird Water Fishing. Stoked to kind of give you guys a little run through of my brand new skiff. If you guys have been following along on YouTube or on Instagram, you've seen that I've been running a Beavertail Mosquito for the last few years. For me, it fits all of my needs. You know, I've been guiding for a few years now, and I was like the Goldilocks of boats for a little while. You know, this one was too big, this one was too small, this one just didn't work. And if you guys have seen, I had a different Mosquito that I've been running for the last 2 years. Really the perfect in-between boat for me for what I do. If you guys follow along, you know, it's mostly shallow water, sight casting, stalking redfish on the push pole, not using a trolling motor, really just hunting redfish. And so after a couple years of guiding, I really realized exactly what my needs are in a skiff. You know, when you're a guide, it's a little different than, you know, maybe a weekend warrior that's out there 2 or 3 times a month. I'm out there 3 or 4 days a week, sometimes 5, 6. And so really dialed in how I wanted this boat set up. And so talked to Beavertail and got this set up. You'll notice it is a tiller. And so as far as I know, I think there's one other Beavertail tiller somewhere around Texas. Beavertail Mosquito tiller somewhere around Texas, but I haven't seen one. And so I was pretty excited to really be representing the first one. And so let's do a little walkthrough, a little MTV Cribs style of how I set up my skiff. Yeah, there's one facing right, that big one. Good shot, good shot. Oh. Keep stripping, keep stripping. There it is. Woo. Good shot, my friend.
Now I can smile.
My butthole just unclenched. That's exactly what we want, those groups of like 10. It's almost a sure thing, I hate to say it, but one of them's gonna get angry and eat it. That piece of dead shrimp we put on that small hook really worked.
You guys soaked these flies. Rich, did you soak this fly in bait last night? Of course I did.
So this is probably the least exciting Mosquito that Beavertail's ever made. For me, it's the dream, but it is bare bones. You know, guiding every day, there's a couple things that I realized I wanted. One, the tiller setup for me really works great because with a smaller skiff, which you have to do this sort of fishing, you know, we're catching redfish whose backs are sticking out of the water. You really need a small skiff. And so to have the tiller set up, it's really this beautiful thing where I can see 2 clients up front. They kind of have their half of the boat, I have my half of the boat. You know, we're not stepping on each other, we're not rocking back and forth, we're not moving. And so having it split down the middle like this really is ideal for guiding. You know, I went with the tiller setup because honestly it's just less maintenance. You know, no steering rams, no binnacles, no throttle cables, so much less stuff to break. And again, if you're like a weekend warrior and you know, have the creature comforts, you know, have your throttle and your backrest and all that stuff, and I get it. But for me, I want to spend all of my time on the water so that I can put my clients on the best fish, and I know how to get on fish constantly. And so I want to spend less time just messing around with stuff, having to fix stuff, having to update stuff. And so I got this thing so stripped down. I mean, I tried to not get nav lights on it, but Harry said that's like some, I don't know, Coast Guard. I've never heard of those guys, but you know, something that you had to have. You got to have nav lights. And so, I mean, I had a custom grab rail built by my buddy, and I had it fit perfectly for the Yeti loadout. I think it's the 60, whatever the biggest loadout is. Really had it set up that way because keep all my safety stuff up front, so I really never have to go in the front hatch. This is the perfect seat for even 2 big guys can fit on this seat and fit comfortably. There's no one sitting on a bulkhead. If we got rough waters, there's no one sitting next to me. It's really the perfect setup. And kind of cool, I reached out to these guys on Instagram solely because I like their name, Butthurt Seats. And you can follow them on Instagram. These guys make custom cushions for Yetis and coolers and all sorts of different stuff. But this cool Realtree Extreme like aqua camo. But these things are sick. So I have a cushion here for my clients, so they're nice and comfy. I'll probably end up getting a cushion here for their backs. And then I actually have it for my loadout, or my Yeti bucket here. It goes on by magnet. It's super cool. So I can actually sit right here, hold my tiller, and just be comfortable all the way down the road. got my V-Marine push-pull holders. I really like just the simplicity of them. I think they look cool. I don't have the push-pull on here right now, but if you guys follow me, that's all I do is push-pull. So that is probably the most essential thing on the boat. I got the 60 Zuki here, tiller model. Thing is awesome. It's really cool because it actually tells you your RPMs right here on it. So that's super helpful for me. I do have a Simrad set up with a NEMA package, so it has all my gauges, my fuel sensor, my and everything on there, so I can follow all my engine diagnostics. Have my trim tab switch up here, my jack plate switch, cup holders. This is the first time I had cup holders on my skiff, and it's a game changer. I feel like my dad. My dad always judged a boat by how many cup holders it had, and I always thought he was a kook, but I freaking love my cup holders. So got 2 up there on the console, got 1 up here on the polling platform. Third most important pole on the boat. So my push pole is number 1. I'd say even more important than my fishing poles because I'm not gonna be fishing if I can't push. And then this power pole micro. So I didn't have a power pole for a while, and I kept getting these scenarios where, if I'm pushing a client into the wind and we see a tailing fish, where I fish in Mosquito Lagoon, the fish are unbelievably pressured and they are so spooky. And so there's scenarios where I'm pushing into the wind and I can stop and I can hold us with a push pole in the wind, no problem. Like I can keep us there all day. The client can get as many shots as they need. But I constantly have these scenarios where the wind's at our backs, which makes the cast for my client way easier, but I can't stop us without being loud. Trying to put the push pole back and forth and try to stop us, it doesn't work out. And if the client doesn't make the first cast perfect, then all of a sudden we're running over a fish. And so reached out to power pole, started talking to them, and as quiet as the regular ones are, I just knew the fish that we have, if I put that thing down, it would spook them. And so to switch to do this micro, it was the right call. I wasn't sure if it was going to work, but it is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, that scenario, when I'm getting pushed into fish, to be able to kind of just put the push pole, slow us down, press the button, and have this spike go on the ground silently, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's been a game changer. To give my clients, 4 or 5 casts at a fish instead of just 1 has been huge. I love that, I hate doing maintenance on my skiff, so no hydraulic pumps, none of that stuff to break. I mean, it plugs in, plugs out. We're on a trip right now where I don't want to leave my power pole on the skiff. I literally just take it off, unscrew it, throw it in the back of the truck, and we're good. It really is awesome. If you guys have been in the skiff world for any amount of time, you know who Jack Foreman is. He is the expert on props out of Texas. Super cool guy, gave him a call. Being a skiff guy all my life, growing up idolizing skiffs, I mean, it was like talking to a celebrity to me. Talked to me for like 45 minutes, told me how great, and not just trying to fanboy on Beavertail, but I mean, he was telling me how great these skiffs are, and he told me, hey, when you put this prop on here, it's gonna be night and day. And to be honest with you, I didn't even know it was gonna be a 3-blade. I just assumed it would be a 4-blade. Showed up, and this prop, I mean, this skiff runs great anyways, but this prop is unbelievable. I mean, I can have my jack plate all the way up and it's still grabbing, no problem. I still have the whole shot, even with the 3-blade. And I'm, with 2 guys, full tank of gas, full gear, I'm still touching 32, 33 miles an hour, which is as fast as I need to go on this thing. My port side hatch here is insulated as a cooler, so if we're not fishing live bait, I can load that up with ice and drinks. I did have Beavertail plumb it as a live well, so I can stick a plug in it. I can put water in there, but I actually just use a bubbler. Again, people probably think I'm exaggerating, but I had a recirculating pump, and in the flats where we're at, it's too loud pumping water. It spooks fish. And it also just sucks up stuff when you're in 6-7 inches of water. And so I actually just drill a hole from my dry hatch to this hatch, run my aerator hose, and run a bubbler, and it works absolutely perfectly. The last thing that was really important to me on this skiff is, you see, I have no trolling motor. I'm not like an elitist. I get why trolling motors are convenient. There have been times, countless times, that I'm in the pole and troll and I'm pushing against the wind. I'm like, you idiot, why do you not have a trolling motor? But again, I don't want the maintenance. I'm never catching fish. It's pointless to even try to catch fish where I guide with a trolling motor. And so kept it very simple, but there are times during the summer that, you know, we'll go out and we'll get a trout, a redfish, maybe a black drum. And I'd love to go put someone on a snook. You know, we have docks. That's pretty easy. You just hook up to a dock, pitch some baits, whatever. And so, but without a trolling motor and spot lock, it makes it a little difficult. So I wanted an anchor. Went on Micro Skiff, you know, combed the forums for which anchors to use. You know, everyone's got their opinion. And I just wanted something light and compact. And I came across this anchor by Mantis Marine. It's actually a dinghy anchor. They have a whole dinghy kit. It's kind of crazy. So this thing folds down, it weighs 2.5 pounds. It's pretty cool. It's got this scoop on it. And so it disassembles, pops right in, and this thing works unbelievably. I mean, if I actually tie off onto my polling platform, and so I can just drift right in. My clients are on the front still. They don't ever have to come back. And this little anchor from Mantis Marine has been awesome. It breaks right down and fits right in my Yeti bucket. The kit comes with a dry bag, a rope. I mean, it's pretty awesome. And so that was pretty clutch for me to still be able to try to tackle some dock snook or sheepshead or, you know, whatever, and still be able to do it without having to spend the money and the extra weight of a trolling motor and battery and all that comes with that. Oh, last thing. So I picked up this casting platform from Arcasa Marine. It's fully carbon fiber. It's got the 14-inch legs, so it's high enough that people can see. It's super light compared to an aluminum one, and it just looks cool. I mean, if you're a skiff guy, we all love carbon fiber and Kevlar and all that nonsense that costs a lot of money. But this thing's super cool. I feel really stable on it. I love it for clients, and I'm pretty happy with it. So. Yeah, that's my skiff. I did do the metal insert rub rail because if you're banging against docks, it's nice to really keep that rub rail in. And that's really one of the only upgrades I did on this thing. I got the Magic Tilt trailer, which was custom made for the Mosquito, and it works great. This is actually like Beavertail's cheaper or more affordable, economic, whatever you want to call it, trailer, and it's made specifically for the Mosquito. And it's absolutely great. I mean, it has a stop for it. I have the swing tongue, spare tire, and I mean, you know, we travel a lot. If you guys follow our YouTube channel, we fish all over the state and the country, and it's been a great trailer. So couldn't be happier with this skiff. If you fish super shallow water, if you want something simple and you want something that performs, I'm in love with Beavertail Mosquitoes. I don't know that there's another skiff that I would go to. And so hope you guys enjoy the channel, enjoy Instagram, whatever. And if you have any questions about the skiff, feel free to reach out and I'd be happy to connect you with Beavertail or answer any questions and kind of point you in the direction. Like I said, I've had a side console, I have a tiller now. I've been on multiple center console Mosquitoes. And so I really think this is the boat if you want to fish shallow water, but still be able to cover big water and cover ground. Have a good one, guys. All right, let's get him back in the water. Max, you guys want to get a little closer to the
rap on the dash. They ain't catching up, dog, I'm moving too fast. I'm in the big leagues, told her don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston, ayy, feeling like Whitney. I need a bag, bruh, send it through quickly. I'm making his dog, like I'm in a big league.